Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It is that time of the week, of course. It's time for my top 5 parlays, week 9 edition college football. Of course, there's going to be a few NFL games mixed in. I always just look for the best overall games, the best values, and do 5 different parlays. Now, last week, guys, I nailed 2 parlays. I'm running through Vegas at this point. It's crazy, including my safe parlay, which is basically at this point an auto lock. And as always, we will start out with the safe parlay, the parlay that you can really throw a lot of money on and be very confident it will hit. So parlay number 1, we've got Michigan at Michigan State, the under 61. This is more of that manipulation I do when it comes to parlays. These parlays are completely custom made by me. This is all totally organic, and I kind of manipulate different games. You can see the under 61. Personally, I don't think the over in this game is going to hit anyways, but my train of thought here is, this is a safe parlay. You're going to be using that multiplier. Use that multiplier to your advantage here. Michigan at Michigan State. You don't have to go under 52 or under 51. Buy the points under 61. It is 380, whatever. You're going to have a multiplier. Use it. Iowa State money line at West Virginia. I love the value here. The more I think about this game, the more I think Iowa State blows out West Virginia. They're -7 when it comes to the overall spread, but since this is a safe parlay, just give me a money line. Iowa State playing very good football right now. Iowa State overrated coming into the season. They lost 2 games. People overreacted. Now they're underrated. West Virginia has a terrible offense. Give me Iowa State. We're going to be safe. Just money line, safe and secure. Ohio State -6.5 first half versus Penn State. That's -260. So basically all that means is if Ohio State wins by 7 or if Ohio State is leading by 7 or more points in the first half, this bet wins. When it comes to bets like this where you're betting on halves or even quarters, I would not recommend betting on quarters like Ohio State to win the first quarter or Ohio State to, have a 6.5 point spread in the first quarter just because it's such a little time. You're talking about the first half overall. Personally, I think Ohio State is going to crush Penn State, but it's just a 6.5 first half. I think that's extremely doable for Ohio State and extremely likely. It is 260, but we're using that multiply buffer that's going to help us there. Missouri money line at Vanderbilt. That's just a lock. Vanderbilt is absolutely horrible. They're one of the worst teams in Power 5. I thought it was decent value. I don't know what the exact money line number is for Missouri. I know they're favored by, I think, 15 or 16. So that's a complete lock. And then my 2 NFL locks, like I always do. The Rams at the Texans. So the Rams money line, they're 14.5 point favorites. Because this is a safe parlay, I won't mess with the spread. Just give me the money line. And then the Chiefs money line versus the Giants. I love that one. The Chiefs 10 point favorites. I have no confidence in the Chiefs covering any sort of spread right now, but I have 100% confidence Patrick Mahomes will not lose to Daniel Jones on Monday Night Football at home. So give me that. That is my safe parlay overall. You can take a look at the odds there, $500 plus 275 overall, 16 parlay. But again, there's a lot of manipulation involved there. Really interesting things, completely custom. Moving on to my second parlay, just a normal parlay here. We've got Troy at Coastal Carolina, the over 52. So this is just a straight bet on the over. I absolutely love the over in this game. I understand Troy plays low-scoring games. They have a good defense. I think this is going to be an outlier. Coastal Carolina scores a lot. Grayson McCall, really, really good college quarterback. Coastal Carolina trying to bounce back after that Appalachian State game. I think Coastal Carolina scores in the 40s by themselves, so give me the over 52. A nice, easy start to the second parlay on a Thursday night. You get the first leg out of the way. Rutgers money line at Illinois. So I really do believe Rutgers is a decent team, and I know Illinois beat Penn State. The only thing I would be concerned about in this game, Illinois ran the football very well against Penn State. So that'd be my only pause here. If Illinois can have success on the ground against Rutgers, that could be a cause for concern. But I think Rutgers is due for a win. Illinois due for kind of a letdown performance after their big win in the mud at Penn State. So give me Rutgers money line on that. I think Rutgers right now 1 point favorite. I'll just take a money line. Washington State team total over 17.5. I absolutely love this one. Washington State has a very underrated offense. They're playing at Arizona State. Arizona State's going to be scoring. They're probably going to be trailing. They're probably going to have to, try and come from behind. Washington State, really good, high-tempo passing team. They throw a lot of passes, a lot of yardage. Love this one. I was surprised their team total was only 17.5. I think they get at least 24, 27 points. Arizona State, good football team, probably going to be ahead most of the game, but Washington State, they have the ability on offense, especially in garbage time, to really put up some points, rack up some yardage. The over 17.5 there. Bowling Green at Buffalo over 41.5. There's more manipulation, so that's minus 450. The actual over/under on this game I think is 52, but that's just like a free bet. I mean, I'll take the minus 450 over 41.5. I think Buffalo scores probably in the 30s by themselves, so I'll take that bet very easily. And then there you can see the 14 parlay. The odds on that one, risk 200, kind of a lower end strategy there, plus 685 overall odds. Moving on to my third parlay, another normal one. We've got the Miami team total under 24.5. I was first in on this one. I don't know if anyone else wants to join me. I think Miami gets destroyed this weekend against Pitt. They play uninspired football. They're playing in a snowstorm in Pennsylvania, 30 degrees. They're not going to like that too much. This is a team that's going to quit if they go down 14-0 mid-second quarter. People are overreacting to their win at home against NC State. It was an impressive win, but you're at home playing in 80-degree weather in primetime. Enjoy traveling to Pennsylvania for a noon start. Yeah, Miami's scoring under 24.5. I've got them at around 17 points. I love the team total under for Miami this week. We've got Michigan State plus 14.5 at Michigan. There's more manipulation I'm doing. That's minus 380. If Michigan wins this game, I think it's going to be close. If Michigan State wins this game, I think it's going to be close. I would be very shocked, outside of just a crazy meltdown of turnovers for Michigan State, if they lost this game by 15 or more points. So I will take that there for part of my parlay. The third leg of the parlay, Iowa at Wisconsin, the over 26.5. So yeah, that's minus 500. I mean, it just seems almost impossible for these two teams to combine to score under 26 points. You think even like 16-13 the over hits. So I just thought that was an easy bet. Honestly, this game's going to be very low scoring. It is an 11 a.m. Central start time in Wisconsin. These teams are going to be sleepwalking. Two really good defenses, two really bad offenses, but 26.5. I had to go the over there just kind of for the memes. It's just funny. And then SMU at Houston, the over 50.5. I think the real game over hits, which I think is 60. But again, this is more manipulation to be more safe. You're going to have a lot that happens. You want to be on the right side of these games. You want to use that multiplier to your advantage. So be a little more safe considering there's a lot of things that have to happen in these parlays. So I'll just take over 50.5. I think this is a higher scoring game. It has 36-33 written all over it. But again, we want to be safe. It's a parlay. There's a lot of other legs. Be safe about it. Just give me the over 50.5 minus 380. And then we've got the Titans money line at the Colts. This is the NFL game. I'll tell you what, the NFL this week I don't love. This game I love. I love the Titans over the Colts. I think they're 1-point favorites. I'll just take the money line, whatever. The Titans, a really good football team, really underrated team. People overreacting to the Colts win in the rain, in San Francisco. I wasn't that impressed by it. It was a slop fest, whatever. Give me the Titans money line at the Colts. Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. I love it. And then there's the 5-team parlay number 3, plus over 500 for the odds there, as you can see. Just take a look at that. Now moving on to my fourth parlay, another standard parlay. We have Texas money line at Baylor. I love Texas in this matchup. I think they're better than their record says they are, and I think Baylor's worse than their record says they are. Combine that into a little algebra. What does that equal? Texas beating Baylor. I will say I'll be annoyed if Robert Griffin III calls this game. Like, why is Robert Griffin III calling Baylor games? Okay, nothing against the dude, whatever. I don't listen to many of his games, but it's just like, why is he calling Baylor games? Isn't there a little, bias involved? He shouldn't be doing Baylor games. I don't understand that, but Texas money line at Baylor. I think that's definitely a noon game. I think it's on ESPN or ABC. Not sure on the network, either ESPN or ABC. Ohio State team total over 37.5, way over. So I actually have Ohio State dropping a 60 burger this week. I've got them around 63 points right now. 37.5 is a joke. I mean, seriously, Ohio State scored over 50 points in 4 straight games. They lead the nation in total offense, total yardage, total points scored, average points scored. They're the best offense in college football. They're trending to be the greatest offense in college football history. So Ohio State over 37.5. You're giving me money. I'll take the money. I like it. I'll take it. But I mean, my goodness. Kentucky at Mississippi State, the over 37.5. That's minus 380. So I'm buying some points there. That's just one of those games where Mississippi State runs an air raid. I think it's going to be a close game. 37.5 should be no problem. Easy part of the parlay. Use the multiplier to your advantage. You don't want to be picking all these games where it's 50-50. Use it to your advantage. Then we've got the Bills money line versus the Dolphins. What are the Bills, like 13 or 14-point favorites? That's just the standard easy add-on to, add your multiplier into there. There is the 4-teamer plus 403. As you can see, just the overall odds if you were to play something like that. Moving on to my fifth parlay, which is always my fun parlay. It's going to be a lot lower of a percent chance to hit. This is more just upsets I feel confident that are going to happen, and you can really just throw any one of these games into your own parlay or something like that. But this is just a fun thing that I like to do. So Iowa money line at Wisconsin. They are 3-point underdogs right now. It's just a value play. I still think Iowa's a good team. They're not great, but Wisconsin, these are two teams really bad on offense, really good on defense. Iowa plus 3 value play. I know Wisconsin's won some games recently. They're looking better. They're not a bad team. I mean, I know they're, what are they, like 3-4, 4-3, but give me Iowa money line there, just based off of value. North Texas money line at Rice. Who else is in on North Texas this week with me? This is a typical overreaction by Vegas. Rice, who is a terrible team, they won last week in a major upset. North Texas is better than Rice. I know North Texas, I think, is a 2-point underdog at Rice. Give me North Texas money line in that one. Boston College money line at Syracuse. This one probably a little bit lower percent chance to hit. Syracuse, decent team with Sean Tucker, the running back. We all love him. But Boston College, good value here, plus 5.5. Give me them on the money line at Syracuse. Winnable football game for Boston College. A team that needs a win. They're desperate. They need a win. I love betting on teams that are desperate, that need a win, and that's what Boston College is. Penn State at Ohio State, just the over 60. Every Ohio State game, I bet the over on. It's crazy. Browns money line versus the Steelers. So this is just a low-scoring game. I think the Browns are going to win, whether they start Keenum or Baker Mayfield. I'm guessing Baker is going to start. He is playing with that injured shoulder. Low-scoring game, miserable game. I also like the under in this game. I think it's 42.5 right now. I still like the under. This is like a 20-17 type game written all over it. And then Washington money line at the Broncos. So that's another NFL upset that I do like. Washington, again, a very desperate team trying to get back on track. You've got a Broncos team. The game is in Denver, and Denver has a decent defense. But those question marks at quarterback, it's disturbing. I think this is going to be a lower scoring, maybe close game. But Teddy Bridgewater, is he healthy? Is, Drew Lock going to play? That'll be interesting. I think Jerry Jeudy is coming back. That's interesting. Jerry Jeudy is coming back, I believe, this week, I saw. So that'll help the Broncos definitely with Courtland Sutton. They do have a nice receiving core. I know KJ Hamler is out for the year. But overall, Washington, they need a win. Maybe Chase Young, a few sacks. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. He only has 1.5 sacks on the year. I'm feeling 2 or 3 sacks for Chase Young, maybe a forced fumble, some turnover, something like that. The Washington defense plays better. The overall odds in that one, there you can see sliding down. That's just a fun bet. Throw a few dollars on it, whatever. Everyone does that type of stuff. But overall, those are my top 5 favorite parlays for week number 9 of college football and week number 8 of NFL. Most of the picks are from college, but there are a few NFL games I throw in there just to pad the parlay numbers, add to that multiplier, if you guys know what I mean. Most of them are just going to be money line picks. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.